Hi guys, it's Sophie here, the Sleep Genie from shuteye.co.uk. I hope you're well today. I'm going to talk to you today about why you only need to sleep train your child once. And this has come from a question that I got asked from one of my families who I'm working with at the moment, from Dad, who said, this is great, our son's sleeping through the night. How long is this going to last for? And I was like, what do you mean, how long is it going to last for? This is a permanent fix unless you do something to change it. And it just really got me thinking that I guess I've been asked this before, thinking, I quite fancy sleep training. And I know that it would, make a massive difference to us, but do I have to keep doing it again and again? And no, you don't. You shouldn't definitely have to be doing it again and again. So just going into this a little bit more detail for you. Initially, when we're sleep training, we are generally fixing a problem or a sleep challenge. So I guess a very crude analogy is when your car breaks down, you take your car into the garage and they fix it for you. You come and take it away and it all runs nicely. But what you need to do is to maintain your car to make sure that it's running at its optimum performance. So, you top up the oil, you clean it, you take it in for a service, you put the, the air in the tyres and all those kind of things. And I guess it's exactly the same with sleep with your child. Yes, we can fix those initial challenges that you're having, and you will be taught the skills to do that, or you would have learnt the skills to do that from however you've got support from a book, online, friends, a sleep consultant. And so all of the things that you've learned, you just need to carry that forward and keep doing the same thing. So maintain your child's sleep in the same way that you would maintain your car. Obviously, as your child gets older, depending on what age you sort of started with the sleep training, they will present different challenges to you. So a 6-month-old baby who's then 18 months is going to start doing different things to challenge their sleep. So yes, you will be presented with new things that you need to kind of manage, but the underlying principles are the same. You shouldn't have to go back to square one, because it's about maintaining a healthy sleep routine, a sleep environment, and responding in a way that tells your child, nope, this is how we go to sleep, and we don't change that. We're not going to temporarily change it or permanently change it. So it's really about remaining consistent, which everybody knows with sleep training is the number one key to success. So where do things go wrong? And these are totally common, very, very normal. The common 3 top things where your child's sleep can take a bit of a hit are when they start teething, if they're a younger child, or even, toddler, if they're getting their molars and things like that. So the teething's hurting and it's disrupting their sleep in the day and the night time. Any illness, whether that's a common cold or something a little bit more severe than that, obviously that's going to disrupt their sleep, and travel as well. So what's happening in those situations is that the norm for your child is changing. So let's take teething, for example, and if your child is particularly sensitive to teething, their sleep might be really disrupted. So what's happening is perhaps, they've been sleeping through the night and they start to wake up in the night time. Waking up in the night time, you're going in, you're trying to get them back to sleep and they're not going. Perhaps you're picking them up to comfort them, give them a cuddle, give them some Calpol, a drink or anything else like that. And then you're trying to get them back to sleep. So there's a few things that might crop in there. So one of them is your child might get some milk in a bottle when they've previously not had that. They have the milk and then they go back to sleep. And then they wake up again. Sorry, that's my phone. Then they wake up again, perhaps a couple of hours later. They're calling out because the teeth are hurting and the Calpol's worn off. And they're like, oh, okay, I want some more milk. So you give them another bottle of milk. And then the same thing happens the next night because the teething is still hurting. You're giving them Calpol, they're waking up again. And you're like, actually, he just wants some milk because that got him to sleep last night. That couple of nights of a response that they didn't used to get can so quickly become their new norm. And that's where it's coming from. So then they start to demand milk every night, and it might be just the once, and they might go back to sleep very quickly after they've had the milk. But sometimes they might start to wake up much more often, and that request for one bottle of milk turns into 3 or 4, or they have the milk and then they just don't go back to sleep because it's not having the effect that it did when they were poorly. Another really common response when children are teething or poorly is that, you know, if the child is in a different room to you, you'll go into their room, try and get them back to sleep in whatever method you have chosen, or, you know, rocking, cuddling, shushing, milk, feeding, whatever, and they don't go back to sleep. You're knackered, you've got work the next day, you've got other children to look after, whatever, you know, it's knocking on for half an hour and you're like, I'm just going to bring them into bed with me so I can lay down. They come into bed with you and they snuggle in and they go to sleep. Great, everyone's getting some more sleep, perfect. And then the child thinks, wow, I quite like that. I loved being in mummy and daddy's bed. When I wake up tomorrow night, which I'm, you know, do you know what I think I might do? I might stir a little bit, but actually I'm still feeling a bit poorly. I might force myself awake a bit more and then get back into mummy and daddy's bed again. And you guys do it because you know that you're going to get the most sleep that you can, and your child's going to get the most sleep that they can as well. They go back to sleep quite quickly, and so you quickly take them into your bed. Now, there's no problem with co-sleeping whatsoever if it's your choice and you're happy to do that. But if it's a reactionary thing and actually you don't particularly want them in your bed, you want them to sleep in their own, and they're quite disturbing for you and your partner, this is where it can really get stuck, because everyone gets the most sleep that they can, and trying to get your child back into their own bed can be really, really difficult. So what you need to do is to avoid that situation in the first place if co-sleeping is not for you. What you want to do in the situations where your child's sleep is disrupted is to maintain the status quo as much as you can. So continue to respond in the way that you've always responded. Yes, being a little bit, you know, more responsive or quicker to go into them. You know, if they're poorly and they need something, we want to make sure that they're perfectly okay and that they're, you know, just a little bit poorly, that there's nothing too sinister going on. But think in the back of your head, don't do what's easiest for you, you know, to get some more sleep. Just think of the bigger picture. Yes, you might have a couple of unsettled nights when you're up and down out of your bed, but if you can maintain the response that you've always done for your child, that is going to mean that they'll settle back into their old routine once the illness or the teething has passed. And again, the other big one is travel. So what to do when you go on holiday or you're staying away from home. And this is a massive one because everything changes generally on holiday. You might be crossing time zones if you're actually going on holiday, you know, or visiting relatives abroad. So sleep schedule is all shifted about. You might be sharing rooms with your child as well, which is a massive thing because they're like, wow, mummy and daddy are in the room, and that's just like party time, or, you know, causes them to wake up super early in the morning, or they're like, get me out of this travel cot, I want to be in your bed. And so, you know, you're on holiday, you don't want to wake up the rest of the house if you're staying with friends and family, so you quickly get your child into bed with you because it goes and they're quiet again. And then when you get back home, it's really difficult to get them back into their old routine and into their bed again. So again, it's about maintaining your schedule and your response that you do at home just as much as you can when you're on holiday. But holiday is a big thing because there's so many different circumstances in which it can take place and how that presents itself for you and your family, which is why I have produced a travel guide. So there is the Shut Eye that travel guide to child sleep, which I will put a link for under this video, which you can purchase to help you when you're traveling. So whether it's a holiday, a night away, staying with grandparents, whatever it is, I have put all of my hints and tips, recommendations of what to take with you and how to manage it so that you don't have, you know, your great sleep routine fall apart when you're on holiday, and that you guys can actually enjoy your time away without fear of thinking, oh God, what's going to happen when we get back home. So I hope this video has been useful for you today. You should only need to sleep train your child once, the rest is maintenance. Okay, but yeah, check out the travel guide if you're going away soon or next year, or yeah, or just a night away when you're staying with friends and family. As I say, the link will be put below for you. But yeah, speak to you soon, guys. I hope that was helpful. Bye.